Wiggle is a wearable art and performance extravaganza that started way back when in 1994 in Windsor, Ontario and Detroit, Michigan. It was formed by the House of Venus, my art collective, where me and my friends wanted to have an annual event where we could really celebrate the culture that we were really into. We were super inspired by what was going on in New York, in the club scene, post-Warhol days, the drag scene, Paris is Burning, Wigstock, all of those things. And Canada didn't really have much events like that. So we really wanted to do something annually, and we did. We started the event with the art scene of Windsor, and we did it as a benefit for the Arts Council of Windsor, where different artists basically created wearable art, headpieces, wigs, anything that was crazy and avant-garde. From its conception, we really wanted Wiggle to be a platform for established and emerging artists and people who are just creative in general, to give them a platform whether they're designing clothes, whether they're dancing, doing burlesque, drag. It was just sort of a cosmic variety show, and that was our intention. And, you know, after 24 years, it's still doing that. In 1995, the House of Venus knew it was time to move on from the Windsor-Detroit area, and we landed in Vancouver, British Columbia, where in '96 we started Wiggle up again with a whole new set of artists, and the show became a lot even heavier with the drag influence. And Vancouver was its new home where it lived for many, many years. We also had many celebrity guest hosts and performers. The very first one was Perfidia from New York City, who worked at the House of Field and was the wig genius. She performed and made some crazy wigs. We also had Candace Kane hosted a few times, and the Lady Bunny. Rocker Miss Guy from the Toilet Boys also hosted one of the Wiggles and brought a whole new element of glamour to it. Wiggle 10 happened in the mid-2000s, and that was just like the pinnacle moment. We had sort of really made a mark with the festival and had over 1,500 people come to Wiggle 10. Wiggle 20 was another big landmark of a year for Wiggle, and it was the Wiggle Weekend in Vancouver, where we had the first night at the Vancouver Art Gallery, followed by the Fox Theatre, which used to be a porn theater, which was really nice. And that was sort of like, is Wiggle done or will it live on? In 2015, I moved to Montreal to be executive director for Never Apart. And in 2016 was our very first Wiggle. The festival decided to live on after 2 decades, and now its new home, being Never Apart, is an amazing fit. This being a safe space for all people and a real creative hub. We've really tapped into the Montreal scene where performers, singers, artists of all sorts are participating in Wiggle. For the very first one here in Montreal, we had Joey Ariest be our special guest, who hosted the show, performed, and captivated the audience. The following year, we had the amazing Candace Kane return to the Wiggle stage for the 3rd time as she high-kicked her way into Montreal with Wiggle. In 2017, we brought the Wiggle Show to Toronto as a part of Nous, the arts and culture queer element of Gay Pride, where it was held at the 519. It was an outdoor festival, which was always a dream come true, until Act 3 when it started raining and we head across the street to finish off the show. Wiggle has also had a social mission behind it and always been a benefit throughout the years for different charities and nonprofits. Now Wiggle's main fundraising is basically for Never Apart's LGBT programming, especially the Color by Icons. For us, Wiggle is really important to continue because our world is full of negativity. There's a lot going on that's not great. This is a really sort of counteract to that. It's important for artists to create and showcase the works and come together as a community. And that's always been Wiggle's intention, to take you away from planet Earth into this fantasy world. We are so excited to be celebrating our 25th year in 2019. We are super excited this year for the 24th installment of the Wiggle Extravaganza, with Candace Kane returning to Montreal to host the show and an amazing cast of artists to be mesmerized by. See you there.